Facebook, for example, has shown little compunction when it comes to buying out potential competitors, making it clear that the target companies can either sell out to Facebook or have the features that made them so popular copied. Talk about the big getting bigger. While on the one hand, we have Warren Buffett, Bill Gates, and a number of other generous souls doing a lot of good in the world, we also have rising greed and selfishness among many entrenched businesses. As the rich have gotten richer over the past few decades, every industry I've been involved with has experienced dramatic consolidation. This corporate Darwinism, survival of the biggest, has created a political constituency of bigger players, which has decimated any kind of level playing field for startups. In 2016, President Obama's White House issued the following statement. Across our economy, too many consumers are dealing with inferior or overpriced products. Too many workers aren't getting the wage increases they deserve. Too many entrepreneurs and small businesses are getting squeezed out unfairly by their bigger competitors. And overall, we are not seeing the level of innovative growth we would like to see. And a big piece of why that happens is anti-competitive behavior. Companies stacking the deck against their competitors and their workers. That takes a toll on all of us and points to yet another contributing factor to greater challenges in lessening opportunities for startups. As a result, as the Brookings Institution data in Chapter 1 shows, startups are down dramatically in every industry group. Corporate Darwinism, for the purposes of my book, is about economic cycles being Darwinian. In other words, it's about picking off weak companies and leaving stronger survivors. In the case of corporations, this often involves corporate consolidation as well. In looking up corporate Darwinism online, I found that some definitions are inconsistent with survival of the biggest. In my intended use of the words, I'm really referring to survival of the biggest and corporate consolidation, which in my view is a product of the evolution occurring in the business community. It sure didn't used to be this way. Big is triumphing over small and new. Looking back over my years as an entrepreneur, I see that a lot has changed in the United States. Some of these changes has made it easier and better for entrepreneurship. I'll cover those in Part 2 when I talk about how we can build on good movements to help increase the number of business startups. Before we consider that, however, we need to look at one clear trend that has dominated the past few decades. Massive consolidation driven by technology, globalization, political policies, and just plain greed, and decreased opportunity for new businesses. The theory of corporate Darwinism stipulates that big conquers little, and that most businesses want to escalate in size and profitability. That kind of success is a good thing in my book. But with a longer, slower burn, this natural desire of companies to get bigger, coupled with the creativity of capital formation, which these days is happening in the stock market and all kinds of different financial vehicles, encourages acquisitions and growth on one side, and the failure of those who can no longer compete on the other. We have all observed the death of a number of small businesses on main streets that have been crowded out by bigger businesses selling the same goods for less money. Just as Wilds and Walt Drugs disappeared, so have many bookstores. Even Radio Shack and Toys R Us have bitten the dust. Businesses come and go. There are always plenty of businesses that go out of business as new startups come in. That's the nature of entrepreneurial evolution. In addition, the past few decades have seen a continual decline in startups of small businesses. Welcome to the dark sides of consolidation, globalization, and technology that have simply wiped out the need for many small businesses. As globalization has shipped lower-priced labor jobs outside of the U.S., entrepreneurs have lost the ability to start or own textile mills, along with many other manufacturing businesses. Similarly, technology has made many things so much faster, cheaper, and better that a lot of smaller service businesses, including management systems and accounting firms, for example, are no longer needed. Arguably, some of this shift away from small business is in the interest of efficiency and boils down to an evolutionary survival of the fittest. Globalization and technology have driven a revolution in innovation and new frontiers in business that have benefited the U.S. and the world. But a lot of the shift away from Main Street startups has happened because of the overregulation and restriction of capital for new entrepreneurs to start a business, both of which we talked about in the last chapter. This corporate Darwinism has created a political constituency.